The Tyreek Hill question, though, is a really interesting one because Hill has that Randy Moss element to his game, which is he terrifies defenses more than anybody else in the league. Like, yep. I think Davante Adams is a better wide receiver. I think Justin Jefferson is probably a better wide receiver. But they don't scare defenses the way Tyreek Hill does, which was like the second Randy Moss stepped on an NFL field. He changed everything because now every game he played for the rest of his career, defenses were terrified of one lapse, one switch off, and it's blip, touchdown. Can't do that.
Yep.
You don't have the same fear with Adams or Justin Jefferson where, you know, you can do everything right, essentially, but he's just way faster than you are, and you've got no way of combating that. Like, those guys are capable of making special plays, but they don't bring that element of fear to the table.
It's still an athlete's game, right? The game of football is still favoring elite athletes. And I think that those guys that we were talking about, Adams and Jefferson and so many other guys on this list, they are elite athletes. But somehow, some way, Tyreek Hill is clearly above all of them from an athletic profile. And that part, to me, when people have Tyreek Hill a little bit lower on their wide receiver list, they're not taking that into account enough. It's not just like, yeah, Tyreek Hill's fast. No. This is like you mentioned, game-changing speed. Every single team that goes up against Tyreek Hill has to change the way they play defense because there is no one else in the league that they face on a week-in and week-out basis that has the athletic capabilities, the athletic ceiling, the game-breaking athleticism the way that Tyreek Hill does. So I agree. There's no receiver to me is more feared in the NFL than Tyreek Hill because of that factor.
The other way I think that it probably makes an impact that you don't see is I imagine there's no receiver that more time is spent outside of games focusing on, right? Whether it's game plans during the week, whether it's actual practice time dedicated to let's make sure we're doing the things to stop this guy hurting us. I remember years ago when Barry Sanders was playing, the amount of you would hear every time they talk to these guys, to players, how much work they spent in practice back when you had unlimited practice time, essentially, doing things uniquely designed to stop Barry Sanders, right? Remember backside contain, remember the John Randall spending his offseason chasing a chicken, right? trying to replicate how you would have to
right.
play to stop Barry Sanders. But the entire game plan was focused just be disciplined, understand, stay on your feet, don't dive in, don't do anything stupid because it takes one screw up and the guy's going to go and beat you for a big play. It feels like that's how it is with Tyreek Hill, where you have to spend so much time just making sure you're not going to make the mistake that costs you big. Years ago when he was still playing with the Jags, they put Jalen Ramsey on Tyreek Hill basically all game long, and he did a really good job for almost all of it. And then there was one third down play where he just switched off briefly at the release, just at the snap. And Tyreek Hill was gone for 35 yards down the sideline for a big first down conversion. It's that's all it takes. You had 60-something snaps, and 59 of them you did a really good job, and then one you switched off, and they got a huge third down conversion off the back of it. And you only switched off for a split second.
The personal example that I have on this is that during the Bucs Super Bowl season, they faced the Chiefs earlier in the year,
right?
Because they also faced them for the Super Bowl, and they faced them earlier in the year. And I'm pretty sure Tyreek Hill had, what was the record? 200 yards in one quarter.
Yeah, the
first quarter, and he had 200 yards. And that just goes to show you how you can't play defense the same way against him,
right?
Because when you play that kind of defense and you get beat by even guys like Davante Adams and Justin Jefferson, there's plenty of examples where they take mistakes and take it a long way. But for those guys, all right, maybe you're only giving up 125, 150 yards in the first quarter. For Tyreek Hill, they gave up over 200. And that matters because those scores turned into touchdowns. He takes mistakes and blows them wide open. And it's a different kind of player with Tyreek Hill. And that's why I agree with you. He's probably the most feared in the NFL. But that's why, to me, it's a bucket of three guys: Davante Adams, Justin Jefferson, and Tyreek Hill.
the consequences to making a mistake covering Tyreek Hill are more severe than they are with any other receiver in the NFL. Like that's the real superpower that he brings to the table. It's not that, if you make a mistake, any of these guys can't make a big play or hurt you. But Tyreek Hill is the only guy where if you screw up, it could be a 90-yard touchdown, right? If you screw up against Justin Jefferson or Devontae Adams, the chances are somebody's going to be able to fix it somewhere before they score.
Correct.
If you screw up against Tyreek Hill and you give him an ounce of daylight, he could be gone from anywhere on the field. Like, remember that touchdown he scored where somebody fumbled the ball and it just happened to bounce to Tyreek Hill?
He's gone.
Right. Like, he's one of the few players in the NFL where a loose ball just bouncing into his hands is almost certainly a touchdown because everybody's out of position at that point and it's a foot race. And in a foot race, he wins.